Take advantage of it while it lasts. Because the reality of it is that for some of us, it does go away. It does kind of like diminish, and it's not as present, it's not as intense, and it's not as strong as it was. So take advantage of it while it's here.
Your eyes tell me that you don't want to leave just yet. No, my eyes agree. It's almost like when we first...
So, happy New Year, friends. It's very on brand for me, first of all, for my first video of the year to even be a rant. I actually don't really like the lighting in here. Put this down a little bit. As you guys know, I did say that I was going to start doing some of these morning rants a little more often because I do feel that there are people out there that probably have the same feelings that I do, and it can be beneficial to anyone. So I was just really reflecting this morning on the fact that there's so much that I learned from 2022, period. The first thing that I kind of really wanted to get into is just the fact that things repeat themselves and we constantly go through cycles in life and kind of like learn the same lessons or are presented with the same lessons over and over again. And in the same breath, these opportunities and these cycles that we're in, whether you learned the lesson the first time, and if you did, now you have another opportunity to kind of like put that lesson into practice and really exercise that muscle and put into play what you have taken from the previous situation or cycle. And, you know, alternatively, if you have not learned that lesson, these cycles are going to continue to repeat themselves until you learn the lesson and it clicks. Like, I've gone through this so many times before. I know something's here, I just don't really know what it is. And then you miraculously find out and learn that lesson that you were supposed to learn. So I just kind of like woke up with immense gratitude yesterday. Like, I was so happy. I really couldn't put my finger on why exactly I was happy. I was looking out the window at the clouds passing by. The sky was like not super clear, but I was really just so happy. And I think I had this wave of overwhelm with joy and overwhelm with gratitude and excitement, and I really couldn't like figure out what exactly I was excited about. And I think it was just really the fact that I'm excited for this new year, 2023. I just feel like so many great things are gonna come of this year, and I think it kind of like stemmed from the fact that I learned a lot in 2022, and in the last 72 hours of the year, literally up until midnight, I was presented with like cycles that I have previously experienced, and I was able to navigate those cycles, and I was able to pinpoint the lesson that I've learned previously and kind of like move forward in a sense. And I think subconsciously, like, my spirit, my soul was just very happy with the realization that you learned, girl. Like, you learned what we was trying to teach you. You heard us loud and clear. And I think that kind of like, I thought that I was ending my year poorly and I was going into the new year in a bad way, but in retrospect, it was really kind of like a good feeling to know that, yeah, although these cycles probably suck and they're probably not the best cycle to like go through in the moment, when that realization hits that I've been through this and this is how I've learned to navigate this situation, or this is how I've healed from the situation, and this is how I'm gonna go forward, like, that was probably one of the best feelings that I've ever experienced. And I think that's why I wasn't exactly able to pinpoint what I was feeling and what I was so happy about. And I just kind of like felt at peace. I don't really think that it's important to make sense of that feeling all the time, but just to acknowledge when you feel peace, regardless of what is causing you to feel peace, I think is beautiful. A beautiful moment, period. The next thing that I really wanted to talk about was just going forward. I am such a planner. I like to plan everything to the T, and when it doesn't go as planned, I feel like I am just uprooted. I'm overwhelmed. I'm anxious. There's just so much imbalance. That is the type of person that I am. But I kind of just thought, like, this morning, I don't even know if it was this morning. Maybe it was this morning, but I just kind of like had this moment of like reflection and like, just do it. Whatever it is, just do it. get up and do it. Plan along the way. Like, granted, there are things that must be planned and benefit from being planned and plans being in place. But if it's something that you truly want to do, just get up and get it. Go forward. You will learn along the way. Even when you plan things out, like, there are going to be unexpected events and unexpected things that happen along the way that you're going to have to adjust anyway. So why not just do it? Why not just like face your fears, overcome those fears, and really go for what's important to you. Go for what's like crying out on the inside. Just do it and express it. And I think we all tend to have these random bursts of goals and motivation and discipline at the beginning of the year, which is great. And, you know, there's some people who kind of like downplay and be like, oh, here these people go again with their motivational speeches and their motivational attitudes and positive this going into the new year. And then, you know, waiting for it to end and kind of subdue as the year goes on. But take advantage of that. Take advantage of that new burst of energy that you have right now. Regardless of what it is, whatever it is that you want to put that energy into, take advantage of it while it lasts. Because the reality of it is that for some of us, it does go away. It does kind of like diminish, and it's not as present, it's not as intense, and it's not as strong as it was. So take advantage of it while it's here. Like, while you're feeling these feelings and you know that you have this burst of energy, just go and do what you want to do. Put those plans in motion and just kind of like take that leap of faith that fear has been holding you back from. I think that is such an important thing to note going into the new year, because I know there are so many of us that have this newfound grind and this newfound motivation and desire, and like, just tap into that energy. And the more that you tap into that energy and the more that you hone in on that energy, the longer it will last for you. The minute that you slip off, like, it's so hard to get it back. So since you know it's here, now really like get into it. And that's just kind of like how I'm feeling right now. So I, of course, was like, yes, get up and talk. Get up, pull your camera out. Well, pull your phone out, because my camera is still actually broken. So now here I am recording on my phone, but just do it. Do it anyway. I really have so many goals and desires and things that I want out of life in general. And again, like, the last 72 hours have been so eye-opening for me. Like, I've just had this, you know, feeling inside and all of these things that I want to do. I want to travel more. I want to live, you know, in Europe for a month and just have these life experiences that I've been holding myself back from, whether it be because, you know, not being in the best financial situation to be able to do those things, or what am I going to do with my apartment for an entire month? Am I going to pay for rent for a month and pay for wherever I'm staying for a month? Like, all of those things, obviously, like, this is something that needs to be planned and should be planned, but why am I allowing the fear to hold me back? Like, you know, the first step, book a flight, book the ticket, like, do something that is going to provoke the plans to happen. You cannot just sit there and be like, yeah, I have to plan this and it has to be well planned, but what's your first step? When are you going to set the plan in motion? You know, so that's kind of like the mindset that I woke up with this morning, and the kind of mindset that I've been in for the last couple of days. And the perfect analogy for this that I like literally experienced, and I had like a euphoric revelation, like a life revelation while I was driving. And this was the week between Christmas and New Year's. I had went like out of the city to go eat, and instead of getting on the highway, I just had this random feeling like I don't really want to be on the highway. I want to enjoy this moment and enjoy the drive and kind of like take my time and not really feel rushed. So I took the back way to get back into the city, which is like this one street that literally it goes straight into and through the city. And we're far out. I want to say we're probably like 10 miles out from the city, and I can see some of the buildings in the skyline. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so pretty. I live in the city, so it's very rare that I get to like see the beauty of the city outside of the city. Those moments are very rare for me. So I'm driving down the road and I'm just like in awe with how beautiful it looks coming into it. And as I'm driving like closer, getting into the city, I see like, okay, now I can see more buildings. My vantage point is very different now. Like, I'm getting closer, so now I can see more. The buildings are getting bigger, and it's just like, as I was driving down the road, I was just so taken back by the process of like driving into the city and how much closer I was getting. I don't think in the moment I was really realizing how I was getting closer and closer to what I was so laser focused on. And the moment that I got into the city and I was kind of like in it, I didn't realize, because I was still admiring, the different buildings that I got closer to. And I was still, looking at all of the things around me. And then I was like, my friend was with me and he's like, why'd you laugh? And I'm like, because it's so funny, that analogy that I kind of realized in the moment. You know how people say, like, keep your eye on the prize, stay laser focused. If there's something that you want, look ahead, don't look back, keep looking forward, and you'll be there before you know it. And that was so real to me in the moment. I saw my destination from 10 miles out, and the closer and closer that I got into my destination, it became more beautiful. I didn't even notice how close I was getting. And then when I was finally there, I didn't really realize that I was finally there. And I think there's so much beauty in that. And I really want to take that perspective with me into the new year. Benefit of vision boarding, right? People say you vision board, put it up somewhere where you can look at it and you just look at it and see it, and the energy will align itself, and before you know it, you will be exactly where you intended for yourself to be and where you want it to be. So that was just something that was mind-blowing to me, to kind of like really relate that to a real life situation and not just have someone else say it to me or tell it to me. So here I am sharing it with my friends, right? But the experiences that you go through in life, even if they are negative experiences and they do bring up these negative feelings for you, yes, feel every range of emotion that comes up for you, but also, what is the lesson here? Have I experienced this before, and how have I navigated it before? And how can I now apply that previous experience to this experience now? And more so to the healing of this experience, not even like the experience itself, if you guys know what I'm trying to say. So that's one. The other thing being, like, take advantage of the energy that you have right now. Collectively, we're all motivated. There's so much high energy. There's so much like desire to goal set your intentions, and really strive for the goals that you set in place for yourself this year, that feed off of that energy that's going around. Feed off of that energy that you have inside of yourself and stick to it. Even if it does not last long, still take advantage of the fact that it's here right now, literally right now. And then the third thing being, you have a destination that you're going to. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the beauty of yourself getting closer and closer to your end goal, and literally just taking that realization that we look forward to things so much that when it finally gets here and when we finally get it, we don't even realize that we have it. There's so much importance in enjoying the journey as you go along, appreciating the journey, appreciating the steps, and expressing gratitude for the beauty in going to where you're trying to get. That just really gave me a whole new perspective. So those are kind of like the main three things that I really wanted to rant about today. The mindset shift and the mentality that I really want to hone in on this year. I think this year is going to be a great year. It's going to be fantastic. I have healed so much in the past, and I know I say this a lot on here, or I feel like I say it a lot to even the people in my life, but it's like, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of the progress that I've made, and it's important to highlight the progress that you have made along the way to enjoy where you're going. Like, you know what I mean? So that's it. That's really all I have for you guys. Happy New Year, friends, and I really do wish all of you the best 2023. Like, we're getting there. There are going to be things that happen along the way. Do not let anything knock you off your track. Don't let anything shake you up off your game. Figure out how you're going to bounce back, because that's what's important. It's the bounce back. It's the healing. It's when things get rough, how do we handle these things? And that's it. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.